What was done cannot be undone. But we can end the silence. We can stop turning our heads away. We can look at you in the eye and finally say, on behalf of the American people, what the United States government did was shameful, and I am sorry.
All right, here we go. That was Bill Clinton apologizing for the literal genocide against African-American men in the South during that era and beyond that, by the way. Sometimes called the Tuskegee experiment. And boy, what an experiment. All right. Now time for the Hutchinson Report podcast take of the week. All right. That's a news and review, some of the things that struck my fancy, some of the things that caught my eye in the news, some of the things, Leroy Jackson, I got to get off my chest. All right, let's get down to it. The announcement was made that the Small Business Administration, they don't have any money. They don't have any dough. They ran out of money. What are we going to do, Leroy Jackson, now? You know as well as I do that there are literally tens of thousands of small businesses. Many of them are hurt. Well, not many. The majority of them are hurting. There's only so much you can do with a takeout from a restaurant. There's only so much that you can do when you're going with a store that's barred up and saying, okay, we'll call in an order. We'll call in a purchase. We'll call in anything. There's only so much you can do with that. In other words, we're talking about a lot of business that are hurting. The projection is if this thing drags on, depending on the length of time, 1/3 to 1/4 of small businesses in America could go under. Ricky, that means they'll never come back. They will never come back. Chris's Steakhouse, they'll do very good. Boeing will do fine. United Airlines will do fine. Royal Caribbean will do fine. Certainly all the banks will do very good. They won't hurt. They will not be missing any meals. There will not be sackcloth and ashes. There will not be a shopping cart with tin cans. They will have none of that. They will do very well. The problem is Leroy Jackson shoe stand, Leroy Jackson barbecue joint, Leroy Jackson clothier, Leroy Jackson's takeout, Leroy Jackson's shoe shine, Leroy Jackson's blank, blank, blank. I got to tell you, may not make it. May not make it. It ran out of money. Unless there is a relief plan, i.e. another stimulus, and this time specifically closing all loopholes, getting the money out to small businesses, they're in trouble. Bernie, sorry, Leroy, Bernie made it official. He endorsed Joe Biden.
Sleepy Joe.
Yes, it's good. Yes, it's good. Yeah, you can say that all you want. You can do that all you want, but the fact is it's not going to change anything. Bernie finally is on board. Now, here's the $64 question. Will Leroy Jackson and all the Bernie bros, all the diehards, will they be on board? That is a $64 question. I said last week, Bernie should get on the phone, call Leroy Jackson and say, vote like you never voted before. Organize like you never organized before for Biden. Let's get him in there. Yeah, we know that you got problems with him. You know, the Iraq War, the crime bill and all that. Yeah. But that was, a millennia ago. The fact is we got to get Trump out of there. We got to get this guy out of there. He's the only, better or worse, doesn't make any difference whether you think is better or worse. He's all we got. So, Bernie, you came on board. He did not want Leroy to be the Ralph Nader. He did not want history to remember him as the Ralph Nader of 2020. You know where I'm going with that, and we'll leave it at that. Trump blames Obama. Can he ever get over Obama? He's got an Obama Jones. He's got an Obama obsession. He blames him now for COVID, CV-19. Coronavirus. You didn't have enough tests. You didn't have anything. The guy is retired. The guy is living a peaceful life, he and Michelle. He's trying to get on with his legacy. He's not the president. You're reaching back almost 4 years and blaming this guy. I got to tell you, a piece of work here in Donald Trump. He also said, I'm mad at the World Health Organization. I'm getting out of it. We're not going to support that anymore. I got to tell you, where does it? Yeah, I know. Where does it end? You know, Shelter in. I have to say this. I occasionally have to get in the car and make an urgent stop somewhere, an urgent something, a little bit of business that can't wait. I got to tell you, the last couple of days, I have seen the streets looking in parts of L.A. looking exactly like they did a month ago. No change. Which brings up another point. You got people that are walking, people that are biking, people that are running, people that are working out in parks and other recreational places, people that are certainly shopping, packing the shopping center. Whenever there's a Target or a Costco, you got to, duke it out to try to get in. You have people that are running their businesses. Non-essential businesses. I was up in a particular area. I can't tell you, Leroy Jackson, just about all the small businesses were open. So, again, we got a situation here. That's right.
I love it.
It's ragged, uneven. Some people are being punished that observe the rules, but many others couldn't give a hoot about sheltering in. They're going about their business. Can you really keep people cooped up forever? I mean, no matter what, pandemic or not. The fact is, there's no enforcement. And so people are on the honor system, and as you can see, if you got to go, you got to go, like anything else. And I'm not talking about something scatological. If you got to go and people feel whatever they do, their sense of urgency, they're going to do it. By the way, I stopped at one intersection, Leroy, and watched about 10 cars that went by. Not one of the drivers had a mask on. So once again, we come full circle. Some are observing, some aren't observing, but many more aren't. And by the way, as this goes on, a prediction, the streets are gonna look normal again within the next week or so. People have had it. That's it. We got to get out. We got to do something. I'm hearing that more and more. Is it right? Is it wrong? We're not in the morality business. We're not in the judgment business. Leroy, I'm just making an observation. You've been listening to the Hutchinson Report podcast, Take of the Week.